Hey, what's up, guys? Exciting time for gaming. E3 this week. Tons of games being talked about. I'm going to bring you my opinions on E3. I'm going to show you clips from some trailers, talk about the games, tell you what I think. I'm going to break these games up into 3 different categories: the game breakers, the maybes, and the of courses. I'm the news looter, and this is my E3 coverage. Mass Effect Andromeda. What more can I say than this prodigal son returns? After countless fans were burned by the train wreck of Mass Effect 3's ending and BioWare's attempted bandaging, a new fresh game appears and it has never felt so Western? Regardless of 3's ending, this trailer promises some more gameplay, world, and action that we all loved in the series. Mass Effect 1, 2, and thus 3 were really revolutionary games, and while sometimes it felt like this series lost some of its potential genius along the way, there isn't really any other science fiction video game on the market that can compare. Hell, even an RPG with comparable combat and the world building that's within these games. The game is announced as of holiday 2016, and the trailer is only what the developers hope the game looks like, but I'm sure they're gonna nail this one. At least they better. Sea of Thieves. Zombies are popular nowadays, and in some ways pirates aren't as hot as they were during the Pirates of the Caribbean era, which, by the way, never seemed to end. But pirates, well, besides Sid Meier's and some pirate MMO flops, there isn't really a game that pirate fans can call their own. Rare calls this game their most ambitious game to date, which is good news for pirate fans. This game promises some great social interaction, and the style seems fun and upbeat. I think this title can really carve out a spot in the Xbox marketplace as an exclusive. Plus, the water in the game looks absolutely amazing. I really dig the first-person viewpoints in the game. You know, this game makes me kind of want an Xbox, to be honest. So Gears of War has a history on PC. Well, kind of a short one. It was like Halo in many ways. It had its home on Xbox mainly, and there were brief forays into the PC world. But these journey, it wasn't really a successful venture, was it? The original Gears of War on PC was buggy, online was a mess, and the overall experience was just a tease. I've been craving Gears of War and its intense multiplayer combat since Gears of War 2 on the Xbox 360. There's nothing as satisfying as one-shotting someone with a shotgun or tearing someone in half with a chainsaw. The only thing I can want more is a completely new game. But if this game is polished, the matchmaking flawless, and horde modes intact, it might be a game worth investing more time into. Dishonored 2. Dishonored 2 shows us a wonderful cutscene in the trailer that promises to introduce some new characters and lore gateways. By that I mean new explanations, powers, and opportunities to create story. I got the impression that the team was taking what worked in Dishonored 2, spicing things up a bit, and making this story continue down the same dark style that we all cherished in the first game. I mean, did you see those, tubes growing out of his stomach? I didn't expect to see a sequel this soon, but now that it's coming, I expect it will be perfect timing for a lot of fans. Doom. For some reason, I feel like the bloody sci-fi shooter genre has been a bit stale lately. Sure, attempts like Duke Nukem have come out, but from watching this trailer for Doom, it seems like an entirely different sort of game. What I liked about the trailer was that it felt so unmistakably Doom, which means blood everywhere, huge scary monsters, and awesome level designs. The trailer contained a frantic and aggressive energy in clips that showed bashing monsters' heads in and grinding them to bloody pulps. The game promises to be action-packed and truly exciting, which will be wonderful for adrenaline-starved horror FPS space sci-fi junkies. Man, that was a mouthful. Bethesda also says the game won't be easy, and from what I saw in the trailer, I can't say I'm surprised. Definitely a promising game for FPS fans. In addition, a multiplayer mode also promises a unique way to make maps, which is interesting. And the Doom Snap Map mode, which allows players to create custom maps for the online community. It's be interesting to see if the community ever takes off. For a lot of these games, people focus more on the single player mode and kind of move on to, I guess, the Call of Duties or the Counter-Strikes. But who knows, it might be a great time. Now we're going to talk about the maybes. Legacy of the Void. Legacy of the Void was talked about on the PC Gaming Show, hosted by Day9 appropriately. He did a fantastic job, by the way. He's a really funny guy. Anyway, Legacy of the Void is the third and final installment of StarCraft 2, and it seems like Blizzard wants to use the game to make a long-lasting impact to revitalize the RTS genre, which has been mainly eclipsed completely by the popular strategy-oriented MOBA genre. Will they succeed? Will the game innovate like they hope? Me, I'm personally excited about the new Archon mode within the game, which will provide new and older players alike chances to work together as friends or teammates to accomplish victory. One of the things I like about StarCraft is that it's such a fast-paced adrenaline ride that feels so competitive, but it's also a solitary experience which can be putting off to new players. I think that's one reason why the MOBA genre is excelling, because it's such a social teamwork environment, which can also be extremely hostile. That said, I've spent a lot of time in StarCraft 2, not so much anymore, but I'm hoping Blizzard finds a way to continue the franchise. Ashen. Ashen is a unique game for me. And for sure, when watching the trailer, I was trying to get a feel of the game. And one can't help but feel that the developers are intentionally giving the game an air of mystery, which is what the game sees about to be in the first place. The art style is subtle and full of shadows and undertones, and the concept of the game itself seems intriguing, from what we know about it. I like the idea of exploring relationships and passive multiplayer, but until I know more about the game, I can't really count on what type of game it'll ultimately be. Will this be an evolution in social online gaming? Or more of a single-player experience with multiplayer elements akin to Dark Souls? Only time will tell. Battlecry. Battlecry seems like an interesting beast. On one hand, it screams MOBA FPS shooter game like Blizzard's Overwatch or Monday Night Combat. Then again, it also seems to contain a remarkable amount of melee combat, like a PvP Western Warframe on steroids. The trailer is remarkably styled and feels like Tarantino's attempt at a video game. While class games like Dirty Bomb and Team Fortress are doing well right now, Battlecry seems to be a little bit different with its focus on melee combat. The style of the game also looks interesting with funny blood effects, and overall it doesn't seem to take itself too seriously, which could be interesting. That said, the game doesn't show us much more in the trailer than we've seen already at last year's E3. This is definitely a game to watch, and I've already signed up for the beta, and you might want to consider doing the same. For Honor. For Honor looks like Chivalry in many ways, with the same dark and gritty, bloody medieval-esque fantasy take, but it takes that same approach and style and makes it much more technical. Of course, you don't really get any impressions of that from the trailer, which is mostly just a CGI cookie-cutter battle scene with sharp cuts and lots of manly screaming. The game looks amazingly responsive and tactical when you look at the gameplay, and if it succeeds, it can be a welcome addition to the sparse lineup of melee combat games available. We all know War of the Vikings, well, maybe you didn't, but it was terrible, it failed, and Chivalry has lost some of its appeal due to the developer focus on monetization, less on gameplay modes and additions, which to be fair can be only expected from a game with a flat fee which is always on sale and at this point fairly old, and their abandonment of Deadly Warrior. What we really need is a new melee focused technical sword fighting game, and For Honor might be that game. Honestly, I've been waiting on a good sword fighting game for a while, but it's no question that a satisfying combat system is hard to deliver. If For Honor can deliver that and a little bit more, it's sure to be a great game. Now we're on to the honorable mentions. Fallout 4. It's been controversial lately a little bit. A lot of people are saying the graphics don't look as high quality as they want to, but also some people seem to be excited about the game because it presents a more realistic picture of what the game might actually entail, which is refreshing. Personally, I never finished Fallout 3. Although I can see the appeal of the game, it's definitely one of those games that you have to invest a little bit of time to really delve deep into. Fallout 4 is undoubtedly going to bring some of the great storytelling, characters, and especially world building that the last game brought us. Overall, I didn't put this in the other categories because I think it's going to be a great game and probably going to be another cult classic like 3 and the other Fallouts. Not the most exciting thing to talk about, really. Dark Souls 3. Like Fallout 4, it seems like the Dark Souls games are always cult hits. People never stop raving about how difficult they are or how fun they are or how many hours they can play them, but for me it's not personally my thing, as I find the games a little bit hard to get into as well, a little bit difficult, and the game certainly doesn't hold your hand or lead you anywhere interesting. You have to find those paths yourself. Definitely going to be a good game though, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to love it. Mirror's Edge. I don't think I would have liked a prequel as much as a sequel. I never found the story particularly interesting in Mirror's Edge 1, and I thought it was a little bit cliche. However, that said, the graphics in the game still hold up amazing today, and the gameplay is extremely polished and smooth. If this game can deliver that same gameplay experience as the first one and innovate in terms of story and world building, I think it's going to be an amazing game. Again, not the most exciting game to talk about. I think it's really going to follow the same kind of formula, and I'm not too sure what more it could do besides perhaps adding some multiplayer components, which might be interesting, racing or, you know, fighting each other. That could be really cool, but I'm not sure they're going to take it in that direction. Well, thanks for watching my E3 roundup. I hope you are excited about these games as I am. I'm looking forward to seeing these games and where they come out. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out, and I'll bring you some more News Loop next time. See you later.